We're live from TGOM. Welcome, sitting here with Dr. Robert Glover. Thank you for joining us.
It's good to be here. This is I think, the most original interview locale I've ever been in. The drones above, the guys fighting. It's just beautiful scenery all around us. This is special.
Yeah, man, we like to do men's work a little different here in Oz, and we're unbelievably grateful that you joined us. You flew all the way from the States. Thank you.
Well, I'm unbelievably grateful to be here, that I got to fly from Mexico, actually, to come hang with you guys.
Thank you. You know, for the men watching this video, Dr. Robert Glover is one of the elders in our community. And, you know, since Iron John, here it is, the fabled coffee.
Got the coffee.
We're good to our word here.
We can actually have an interview now.
So for the men listening on, if you don't know Dr. Robert Glover, what he's most known for in our world in men's work is No More Mr. Nice Guy, the book.
Right.
Man, how did that happen?
Well, the short story is I was married to my second wife, and one day she said, "Everybody thinks you're a nice guy, but you're not. I can't trust you. You're passive aggressive. You hurt me. I'd rather be married to a jerk, because at least I know a jerk's going to treat me bad all the time. You treat me well, and then you don't." She said, "You need help. I'm going to leave you if you don't get help." And I thought, I'm a nice guy. What's the problem? You're the one who's unhappy all the time. I'm just trying to make you happy. So I actually went looking for help to figure out why being a nice guy wasn't making my wife happy.
Wow.
And luckily I landed in some good places. I landed in a 12-step group, found a therapist, landed in a men's group, and that's pretty amazing in itself, because that's 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of early internet days, you know, this stuff didn't exist. And so I was just really fortunate to land in some environments to realize why my paradigm, that if I just am a good guy, if I'm different than my father, different than all those jerks out there I've heard women complain about, women will love me, I'll be liked, I'll be approved of, and my woman will want to have sex with me.
Yeah.
And that didn't work.
Yeah.
And I began to realize why. The covert contracts in it, the people pleasing in it, the avoidance of conflict. And I was a marriage and family therapist, and so I started noticing as I was working on me, guys were coming to therapy with their wives or girlfriends, and they were saying the same things I was. I'm a nice guy. I'm one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I treat her better than her ex. I'm raising her kids. They go to private school. I buy her the car she wants. We go on the trips she wants. It's never enough. She's never happy. She never wants to have sex anymore. When's it going to be my turn? And I thought, man, I can finish those sentences. So I started a No More Mr. Nice Guy men's group 30 plus years ago. We met every other Wednesday, and I just started writing, you know, just some chapters to give to the guys. I'd write every Wednesday, and just things I was learning, how nice guys came to be, what our paradigm is, why it doesn't work, what a more effective and authentic paradigm is for life. And I just kept giving these chapters to the guys, and after a while, they and their wives and girlfriends said, "Robert, you should write a book. You should go on Oprah. This could be a bestseller. There's a lot of people that need this."
Yeah.
And so I just kept writing, 6-7 years. Finally got it finished. Took about 3 years to get it published.
Wow.
A lot of publishing companies said, "Robert, we like your book. It's well written, but our marketing department says men won't buy a self-help book." Again, that's 30 years ago. Kind of pre-Amazon, pre-Kindle, pre-Audible, pre-podcasts, you know, where nowadays YouTube, TikTok, Instagram filled with people talking about this stuff. You know, you go to Amazon, men who bought this book. So now 25 years later, the book makes 6-figure royalty checks every year.
Wow.
And is growing.
Yeah.
So apparently men buy self-help books.
Man, that's a myth that men don't want to be better.
They don't want to be better. They don't read. They don't get together and do their work. It's even just that myth that men don't have emotions.
Yeah.
Men don't show their emotions. Man, just hanging out with these guys, just nonstop emotions. You know, watch a men at a sporting event. We get emotional. We got emotions.
Yeah, man. For me, what I'm hearing you say is you spoke to the men in a way that resonated with them and gave them permission to do the work they wanted to do already. They just didn't have an inroad.
Yeah, you know, if I'd seen the book in a bookstore 35 years ago as a nice guy, I would have thought, what's this?
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe anybody see me take it off the shelf and read it. People tell me they do that. And if I bought it, I probably wouldn't have shown it to my wife, right? because I thought, I don't want to get a negative reaction. There just wasn't anything out there. Really all there was, Robert Bly's Iron John, mythopoetic movement, Flying Boy. There's a few books out there, luckily. And I went out into a few woods and beat on a drum and had a talking stick and said ho, but that's really about all there was.
Yeah.
And now men, I'm so excited. I'm so optimistic because I can fly anywhere in the world. There's men's work going on. And there's so many models that you can build it on now. You can build it on kind of a yogic model like David Data. You can build it on the mythopoetic. You can build it on, tussling with each other, getting deep with each other, working on relationships. I mean, there's so many approaches now to help men just level up to the best version of themselves. And one of the things I preach is we men don't have to be better. We're good enough. We're perfect. We're perfectly imperfect.
Totally.
Let's embrace our shadows, embrace our flaws. Let's embrace that part of us we keep hidden. Let's integrate. Let's dance with it. Let's own it. Let's let the world see it. Now we can do better. I can be more patient. I can have better boundaries. I can do better asking for what I want. I can resolve conflict better. So we can do better. But we don't have to be better. We're
100.
fine. We're fine as we are.
Yeah, we often find men confuse their worth and their value. Your
Yeah.
value is what you do and what you bring to an environment, a space, a service. But your worth, that's never in question.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
who
I'm
you
going
are.
to use that. Your worth and your
Please,
value.
yeah.
I
Let's
love it.
borrow. I feel like I could borrow a fair bit from you, so I'm cool with that. What are you? How is it here landing at TGOM? What's this been like for you?
I got to Australia 4 days ago, so I'm doing pretty good. I haven't had too bad a jet lag, and so number one, it's just beautiful where I've been. Here on the Gold Coast, and it's just beautiful. Coming to this event out here in this just beautiful location with trees and mountains and birds and animals, and with the guys here, what I've just seen. Yeah, 200 guys here. I don't know of anything like this in the U.S. that were just 200 men who don't fucking know each other come out to a cow pasture and entrust the people who told them about it that's going to be good, and so what I've noticed, from just day one yesterday, sitting in on your planning meetings, so well organized. It's your fourth year, but you guys act like you've been doing this like forever.
Thanks.
And it's well organized, well held. I love. What was the phrase? I asked you about that again.
Everything is an invitation, not an expectation.
An invitation, not an expectation, because everybody here is getting out of their comfort zone.
Yo.
But whether it's hugging another man, tussling with another man, revealing yourself, getting war paint put on you, everybody had to get out of their comfort zone to come here. I had to get out of my comfort zone to come here. I still find myself out of my comfort zone at times. And the whole process for me of masculine initiation, which is so lacking in modern world.
Yo.
Masculine initiation, my definition is getting comfortable feeling uncomfortable.
Yes.
And you guys have built that beautiful container where, okay, we don't expect you to do this, but we'll invite you to do it. We'll invite you to tussle, we'll invite you to get on the ground, we'll invite you to reveal yourself, we'll invite you to be real, be vulnerable. But if you need to pull back a little bit, that's okay.
Yeah.
If you need to take a break from it, that's okay. If you just need someone to kind of walk with you and talk you through it, that's okay. I love you've created such a safe space for men to get out of their comfort zones and go places maybe they've never been before. Probably
man.
never been.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. And for us at our end, we're so stoked to have an elder in our community to come here and to be open to us, to be open to our bullish energy. I said to you last night, I don't think I could pull this off if I wasn't 35. We got that young bull energy.
Yeah.
So it's what makes this happen, and it's beautiful that you're so welcoming and you're so accommodating. How much space you have for us as young men.
I turned 70 in a couple months. I don't feel 70. My knee does.
This fella is Robert. You are so youthful. Your spirit is so present and alive. And I just want to acknowledge that. And everyone, this man, he's bubbling with life. It's beautiful to see. It's a real testament to doing the work. So thanks.
Thank you for that. And I don't know what old is. So I love being here. I always think, Yeah, I could get in that. I could tussle with them.
Don't mess them up. Don't
you
ruin
know,
them. Yeah.
I could do that. In the men's program I'm in, I'm usually, if not the oldest, one of the older guys there. And it's mostly guys in their 20s and 30s. And I just have this thing about me. Man, they're not going to outdo. I can do this. I can hold the pose. I can match them. And every now and then I have to have a little grace with myself. Okay, all right. I don't have to quite match them. But, about the elder thing, that's a piece I've just really kind of been coming into in the last maybe 2 to 3 years. In the men's program I'm in, most of them are geared towards helping young men face challenge.
Yep.
And as you do get older, there's different challenges, and it's more about. I'm still trying to figure out what it's about. The getting older part. I kind of as I approach 70, I've had my own personal tussle with what does that mean. Looking at my mother just turned 90. Wow. Odds are I living in my 90s and the hundreds. I got 3 out of my 4 grandparents lived in their 90s. So what does that mean the next 20, 25, 30 years? What's life going to look like? How's it different than it is now? But mostly, how do I continue to contribute? And how do I continue to bring a gift to the world? And what I've really come to the realization is I don't have to figure that out.
Yep.
I just get up every day and say yes to the opportunity. So somebody says, "You want to come to Australia?" I go, "Okay." Does you want to come speak at this men's event? Okay. What they didn't tell me is that we're going to be camping out in the tent, sleeping on the ground. It's 4 days worth. It's going to get cold at night, hot in the day. And I'm okay. I just take it one day at a time. What's the next thing? And so just that my attitude is just I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Just keep saying yes. And so many great opportunities just keep opening up. You said you want to do an interview in front of a bunch of guys tussling. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Yeah, I said, but coffee first. So I'm just finding out. I just keep saying yes, and all these beautiful doors just keep opening. And I just keep walking through them. I mean, people like you, I didn't know you 24 hours ago. And I just see your energy here, your leadership, your guidance, your strength, your compassion. And it's just beautiful, the doors I get to keep walking through. Just beautiful men's work, beautiful men all over the world.
Yeah, man, thank you. Thanks. I feel like that's a testament to your walk. It really is a testament to the path you've walked and creating that current of water, and that's flowing into all of these streams to feed all of us younger men.
In the ritual yesterday where we got some paint on and had the Aborigines, and I was looking around, and I haven't even been here 24 hours yet, and so many men have just approached me and said, "Robert, thank you for your book. Dr. Glover, thank you for your book." I was laying on the ground just relaxing. Some guy walked up, "Dr. Glover, is that you?" And I go, "Yeah." I said, "Did you know I was going to be here?" "No, I had no idea." He just recognized me, just a dude with a white goatee on the ground. And even as I'm thinking about all the guys who thanked me for my book, my work, I'm looking at all the men who maybe don't know who I am. It's cool. But I'm thinking, but their coaches do, their leaders do. And so I realized something that I did 30 years ago, took 6, 7 years to write, 25 years now, I'm still out doing interviews, still promoting the work, still talking about it. Even if they don't know about the book, their coaches, the men who brought them here, know about it. I'm thinking, that's cool.
Man, that's cool. A legacy.
Yeah.
That's a fucking legacy. That's a tree others can sit in the shade of.
Exactly. And I love that wisdom, generosity, is planting the tree that you'll never sit in the shade of. And I do get to sit in the shade of it. I do get to see in my lifetime what's happening. So I feel so blessed. I mean, I really no other word for it. Yesterday, everybody shared a word of how they're feeling in the morning. You led that. And I thought, sublime. I just feel sublime. I'm so blessed. What a beautiful opportunity. I was just called to put pen on paper and write some stuff down, and here I am now 30 years later in Australia. Here's the cool thing. When I built my very first website, very first drglover.com. I built it myself. I taught myself HTML. Built it, had some flashing GIFs on it, old school. Very first contact, very first email I got was from a guy in Australia.
No way.
And I remember telling my then wife, I said, I got an email, my first email's from a guy in Australia. She goes, they call it the World Wide Web for a reason. Now here, 30 years later, I'm in Australia
Yes.
with all these men doing their deep work.
Is this
So,
your first time in Oz?
first time here?
Oh man, amazing.
I'm coming back.
Yeah, please.
I love it.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know, the question I always ask, and it's potentially a cliche question, but I think it's the best question a young man can ask an older man, is looking back on your life, what would you want your younger self to know? What do you want? And in that, what do you want us young men to know?
You know, this may sound odd because my training, my doctorate's in marriage and family therapy. So I've worked with relationships since before I was in my 20s. Right? I've been married 3 times. I've loved the relationships I've had in life. And I think the one piece of advice I'd give myself is spend more time creating deep connection with men and less time worrying about the women. Because even as a marriage therapist, I've told men for years, the best foundation for building a relationship with a woman is the foundation of men, is having deep, meaningful connection with men. Because nowadays, you know, our ancestors didn't spend that much time with women. Whether it was our tribal ancestors 100,000 years ago, they were out hunting and gathering and warring. You know, some facsimile of this.
Yeah. They
They weren't hanging out with the women. They would come back and we'd bring the food and the furs and the fucks back, and we'd go out and do it again the next day, right?
Yeah.
And even our grandfathers probably didn't spend all that much time with our grandmothers. They were out working, they were in the field, they're in a factory, they're doing this, and maybe as boys, as soon as we could get out of the house, we're out with our uncles and our dads and our granddad, our cousins, you know, whether it was getting the eggs from the chicken or plowing in the field or milking a cow or, you know, just doing whatever boys did at 12, 14. They were around men, and their life was men. Nowadays, you know, you go to work, it's men and women. You know, you come home, you know, there's your soulmate right there with you. And I'm not saying that there's not value in having those relationships with women, but we tend to make them the cake rather than the icing. I think the depth of connection with men, our purpose in this world, what we give back, our generosity, that's the cake. That's the cake. And having a great woman or great women in our life, that's the icing. And I've gotten that backwards a lot of my life. And nowadays I think a lot of men do. If I just got a woman, I'm complete. And then we come to find out, oh, that didn't make me complete after all. Now, how do I get away from that woman? She's making me crazy. So the younger me, I'd say build that connection, depth of connection with men, maintain it. Because, you know, we get in a relationship, and if we had guy friends, you know, we quit talking to them so much. And then our relationship starts going south, and then we go, I got no one to talk to. My best friend's mad at me all the time, i.e. the woman in my life. What do I do now? And that's when a lot of guys find, I'm sure your program, my book, my programs, is when they're in some sort of relationship struggle or crisis or feeling unfulfilled, they go looking for answers. Good news is there's answers out there now.
Man, I can say to that, I couldn't comprehend how much of a positive impact spending quality time with men every week would have on my relationship, which is one of my priorities.
Yeah.
And it was such I don't know, it's a paradox. Invest time with the bros, quality men, good relationships, and my relationship with my beloved thrives.
It thrives. You know, I wrote No More Mr. Nice Guy in my second marriage, and I mean, we had issues. That's why I started doing my work.
Bless that woman. Thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for her that if maybe some other path would have brought me to her, we'd be having this conversation today. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I believe that no matter what, I would have made a difference in the world. I just have that belief, this way or that way. So I'm so grateful for the struggles we had in that relationship. But kind of when I was talking about all the nice guys had in common is their partners never seemed to want to have sex with them anymore. And my second wife, on our honeymoon, said, "Aren't you glad now that we're married we don't have to pretend to like sex anymore?" I thought, wait a minute, I wasn't pretending. And spent 14 more years, you know, trying to get this woman to want to have sex with me. And when I started doing work with men, even if it was just with buddies, we'd take road trips and go watch baseball games in stadiums around the country in the U.S. I'd come back after 3 or 4 days, and my then wife would say, you know, when you go away and hang out with your buddies and come back, I'm more attracted to you. And, you know, she was telling the truth. When I'm just there trying to please her, make her happy, not in my passion, not connected to men, I don't look that interesting to her. And that's not just me. That wasn't just her. That I've worked with women for 40 plus years, and women consistently tell me they want a guy. They want a guy's out there living his passion, connected with men, bringing something home, a fullness home to her. And my wife, today we're coming up on our 9th wedding anniversary next month.
Congrats.
She's in Mexico City right now at a dance festival. So she's out. She salsa, bachata, cumbia, loves to dance. And I'm over here in Australia, and first day or two we're apart. I felt a little bit of distance from her, from her messages. And then like after about the second day here, there's just, I miss you so much. I'm so in love. Do you know how much I love you? You know how grateful I am for you? And I'm sending her pictures of me with men and doing the work here. And she's falling more in love with me. I'm not even with her. And she's falling more in love with me because she sees and knows that I'm with men. And she knows the difference I'm making in the world and the energy I'm going to bring back to her. And it is the secret sauce. Men connecting with men, getting real, getting vulnerable, having real conversations, tussling with each other. That's the secret sauce for men's contentment, happiness, fullness in life that we bring back to the world. We bring it back to our woman, our kids, our friends, to the world in general, to the feminine in the cosmos when we do this connection with men.
100, man. What I feel you've done so beautifully is you've taken, Robert Bly and the mythopoetic movement. There's so much wisdom, depth, and there's so much in there. It's necessary for men to understand that, the archetypal journey of the psyche, of the self, of initiation. And I really feel you've brought it into the modern world in a way that really fucking matters to men through relationship and how we live. And I think that's a massive gift for our community.
I was talking with Corey, the young man, the coach that invited me to come over here. We're driving up here and we're talking about some of this stuff, and we're talking about books we've read. And I said, I read Iron John years ago. And I remember reading it thinking, okay, I get this, but I wasn't really, I didn't really get into the whole mythopoetic storytelling, but I kind of felt like I got the point of it. And then over the years, I was doing my work. I wrote No More Mr. Nice Guy. And around the time, I don't know if it was around the time I was finishing the book or just after I'd finished, I went back and read Iron John again. And I'm reading it going, holy fuck, this is amazing. I go, and this is exactly what I'm writing about. And I quote Bly in No More Mr. Nice Guy about the soft males. And these nice guys he was talking. And so the second time I read it, it just thought, enough of it had seeped into me that it showed up in my own work in my book. But it wasn't until the second time I read it that I go, it sunk in. I get it now. And that feels good to know that I've taken that kind of work that had such an impact on this world and made it perhaps more approachable, more accessible, more where men can just go, that's me, I see myself. How do you know me so well? He's been spying on me. He's been following me around. He's got cameras. And the reason why guys say that is because it's my story. Everything in No More Mr. Nice Guy, I say it's not a record of my successes, it's a chronicle of my fuck-ups. Everything I've gotten wrong or blown or did it back-asswards, it's in that book. And that's why men relate to it, because men have done all that same shit, thinking it was the right way to do it, find out, why isn't it working? How come it's not turning out the way I thought? And so I think that's why guys relate so well. It's my story. And I'm still doing the work. At 69 years old, I still got a men's group. I'm still, still doing it.
Still coming and hanging out with the bros.
Guys will say, Robert, I love your book. How long is this going to take? And I go, I don't know. I'll let you know when I figure that out.
The work never stops, huh?
Okay. It's like saying, you get a coach at the gym. How long do I need to keep doing this?
How long do you want to be strong?
Exactly.
What are some of your markers that in your life that the work is working for you? What are some of the symptoms you've seen in your personal life in the way you show up that you're like, okay, I'm on the right track?
I love that question. About 8 years ago, like I said, my wife and I are coming up on our 9th wedding anniversary. our relationship is not one that you drop on paper. You know, people said, "How'd you meet your wife?" And so I was walking down the street in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and I heard a voice say, "Hola, señor, want a massage?" And I said, "No, hoy, tal vez mañana. Not today, maybe tomorrow." But I thought, I liked your voice. I turned around, walked back, got a massage. Right? Now we're coming up on our 9th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
And you know, she's 22 years younger than me. Grew up 8 out of 10 kids in poverty in Guadalajara, Mexico. We didn't speak the same language, different culture. She has two young kids at that time who were the same age as my granddaughter. We just had nothing that should connect us. And now here we are married, you know, 9 years. I know I blessed her life. She definitely blesses my life. But a year into it, we were struggling. We were having struggles. She's the typical jealous Latina, accusing me of things. Oh, you've got a girlfriend. You were flirting with her. You're looking at your phone. You must have a woman. No, I didn't handle it well. I'm a nice guy. I haven't done anything wrong. You're accusing me of stuff I haven't done. I didn't always handle it well. And I thought, this is not going to go well. And if I don't have support, I know myself. I'm going to get frustrated, resentful, passive aggressive, and next thing you know, some woman's going to treat me nice, and there I go, right? And I didn't want to do that. So I was leading a workshop, and I shared in the workshop, I need a men's program. One of the guys in the workshop said, I just joined this program. This guy, he studied with David Data for 10 years. I go, I'm in.
Yeah.
So I contacted him because I knew if my marriage was going to make it, I needed men. And I needed men who knew every part of me. My ups, my downs, my shadow, my good days, my bad days, how in love I am with this woman, how I'm so pissed off with her at times. I needed men that knew that, because if I just kept it inside of me, my own echo chamber, my own resentments, my own frustrations, it's going to go south. And then, so that's 8+ years ago. I've done that, continued that work with that coach. Several years in the program, I've made so many friends. I travel around the world and men I know. Next week, some of my friends from Australia, New Zealand are going to come hang out with me. I know men all over the world now. And during that 8+ years of just this part of my own personal recovery work, my marriage is thriving. We're so in love with each other. The struggles we used to have, they occasionally pop up. We get through them in minutes instead of days. My wife is growing in beautiful ways. I'm growing. My business has grown. Financially, my wife doesn't work outside the home. I pay for everything. And my standard of living has gone up.
Yeah.
Right. My connection, my opportunities around the world, my health. I almost died 8 years ago of a tumor blocking my small intestine that nobody could find was wrong. I was knocking on heaven's door, and my wife found a doctor who found the tumor, did the surgery, and you know, I'm still alive, making a difference. So just having a tribe around me. And during that time in the men's program, I started my own personal men's group from 6 other guys in that program. 7 years later, we still talk every other week.
Wow.
We all went camping together a month ago up in Washington State. We've been through divorces with each other, new relationships, death of parents, bad backs, prostate problems, you know, everything we do is go through. We've gone through it over the last 7 years.
Yeah.
And I know I'm held. I know I'm supported. When I go to Austin, Texas, I've got friends there. When I go to LA, I've got friends there. When I go to Australia, I've got friends there. All of that, building my personal tribe, has strengthened my marriage, has kept me alive, it's helped me prosper, has helped me give back to the world. So I'm just such a fan that if we men want to level up to the best version of ourselves, we got to have a tribe. We got to have men around us. The next book I'm working on is about that.
My next
how
question was, what's the
how do
next
we
one?
men build a tribe?
Yeah.
And I've got a New York marketing company that's helped me put the platform of that together. Maybe a TV show down the road. But it's about men. If men are going to level up to their best version of ourselves, if we're going to have the best relationships, if we're going to prosper, if we're going to give back to the world, make a difference, make an impact, we need tribe. We need men. Now, whether it's a tribe like this, big tribe, or having 1 or 2 buddies that we're real with, we're vulnerable with, we reveal ourselves with, we see them regularly. Zoom's great. You know, Instagram's great. You know, Twitter it's shit. WhatsApp's great. You know, TikTok, yeah. But we need this.
Yeah.
We need to look in each other's eyes. We need to be able to hug each other. We need to be able to just lean on each other. We need to be able to like just get real with each other. And we can do that with technology, but we need the in-person stuff too. It's so essential. And so I think that's going to be my mission for the next several years is preaching men, needing tribe, needing face-to-face connection.
Yeah, bro. Brotherhood is the medicine.
Brotherhood's the medicine. I'm going to use that one too.